Hey guys, welcome back to MiiBooth. Irfan here. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I get an email from hohemtech and they tell me, Irfan, we have a new smartphone gimbal for you to try out. And I was like, what is new? What is different? What is unique in this one? Which is my usual question. And they tell me it has AI. I was like, what exactly do you mean by artificial intelligence? Because pretty much everything has it nowadays, even vacuum cleaners do. And they tell me, well, it can track you. The gimbal can track you. And I was like, pretty much all of your gimbals in the past have been able to track objects and places using your smartphone app. And they're like, no, it's different this time. The gimbal, the Hohem iSteady V2, has an actual physical camera that can track you. And not just track, it can also recognize gestures. Like, look at this one. Or this one. And I was like, that is crazy. That is amazing. I need to see that and I need to show it to you guys. But first, unboxing.
If gadget reviews, DIY projects, and life hacks are your thing, then consider subscribing to my booth and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Alright, so this is the iSteady V2, a successor to the iSteady X which I reviewed last year. The iSteady X retails for $69 at the time of this video and the V2's launch price is $129. I'll leave a link in the description box below in case you want to check it out. The V2 is pretty much exactly like the iSteady X looks-wise and features-wise except for this additional AI vision sensor that this carries, which is able to recognize multiple gestures and react to it. I'll come to that in a moment once I've given you a brief setup guide and a walkthrough of all the other features. So here we have the box, very different from the iSteady X's plastic casing. This time it's a much more classy looking cardboard box with a picture of the gimbal on the front and all the features and contents of the box mentioned clearly on the back. Inside the box we have a quick startup guide. Then we have a very unique foldable paper case with a detailed user guide, a carrying pouch for the gimbal and a wrist strap. Below that we have the gimbal itself in a folded position along with a small tripod and a double-sided USB-C charging cable with a USB to OTG. Now this time I got the white one, but it is also available in black. In the folded position, it is no taller than 17.9 centimeters. It is just a tad taller than the iPhone XR or 11. Even when fully unfolded, it is no more than 23 centimeters tall. It is also incredibly light at only 259 grams and can handle a phone weighing up to 280 grams, which is probably enough for any phone. It has a very clean 3-button only interface, which seems to be super simple to use. There's a button on the side which can be used for zoom and focus, and a USB-C port here for charging. Also for reverse charging, the gimbal can act as a power bank for your phone. There is an AI vision sensor, aka a tracking camera, and a half ring of LEDs in the phone holder itself. There's a 1/4-inch screw hole at the bottom, allows it to mount a small tripod which comes with it, or actually any other tripod. And next to it is a spot to attach the wrist strap. The handle has sort of a partial leather type of coating. It looks very nice and helps in the grip too. The gimbal folds in a unique position. When locked, it refuses to do anything other than spin, but it only takes one motion to unlock all the motors and arms of the gimbal. The phone holder can fit any phone, and it's got rubber paddings on the inside to keep your phone scratch free. Once you load the phone, you have to balance it horizontally before powering up the gimbal to protect its motors. Now, once your phone is balanced and the gimbal is switched on, you need to download the Hohem Pro smartphone application and connect the gimbal to the iPhone through the app. And if it's your first time, you'll need to activate the gimbal as well. You'll have to create an account with your phone number and a password. Once inside the application, the first thing you can take control of are the 4 different working modes. The default is pan, tilt, follow. The second one is pan follow mode, where the tilt and roll motors stay locked but it follows you when you pan around. The third one is all locked, which is pretty self-explanatory. And finally, point of view, which is POV mode, which is basically all follow mode. All 4 modes have their own uses in different situations. If you look at the gimbal from top, you can notice how the tilt motor has been pushed aside so it doesn't obstruct the wide angle modes in smartphones. Now, this is thoughtful and does actually allow for a phone to take full advantage of its wide angle modes, but there's a trade-off here. The tilt angle is limited to around 40 to 45 degrees. However, the pan motor goes around almost 320 degrees and the roll motor also close to 320 degrees. Before I move to the app and its features, I'd like to show you how it will work if you simply decide to use it for stabilizing video from the phone's native camera. Here's a video made by my phone without any help, simply handheld. I tried basically walking, jogging, and panning the video in the same clip. And now here is the same thing with the gimbal. The difference is quite clear between the two, especially when you see the videos side by side. Alright, so right now I'm trying to make a typical vlog style video with the phone in my hand. I know usually people have some sort of a tripod, if not a gimbal, but I wanted to stress on the difference between a handheld video and a gimbal stabilized one. So this is one with hand, and if I try to jog or hop a little bit, this is how it looks. Now let's move to the gimbal stabilized one. Alright, this is one with a gimbal. I'm trying to follow the exact same path so it will be easy to compare in a side-by-side video. You can already see it is very smooth and much more stable. Even if I try to jog or hop a little bit, you can see it's only me that I'm moving in the video and not the whole video itself. If you're recording and decide to roll over the gimbal, the auto rotation function makes the phone roll over with the movement of the gimbal to give you a neat effect. Of course, this option can be toggled on and off in the app settings. Now, balancing part is just the most basic elementary function of the gimbal. The app is what gives every gimbal its unique touch. When you launch the application and connect it to the gimbal successfully, you can press the start button to open up the camera. Now, you can also control the functions on the screen with these buttons in the control panel of the gimbal. The joystick, as you know, is used to move the phone around, and for this, it doesn't have to be connected to the application. With this button, you can press it once to take a picture or twice to start or stop video recording. If you press the same button 3 times, it switches to the front camera. This button on the side can be used to zoom in and out. And if you tap on this F on the screen, you can now use the same button to change the focus of the scene manually. The last button here also doesn't require the gimbal to be connected to the app. You can press it once to instantly switch to portrait mode. And I feel this is one of the most handiest features you can come across. You can switch from landscape to vertical or the other way instantly, and there's no need to fidget around with the phone like I've seen in other gimbals. If you press the same button twice, it will recenter the gimbal. The camera application is quite self-explanatory. You've got the home, flash, toggle front and back camera, face tracking. When you switch it on, it will automatically detect a face and then start following it. Very handy for vlog style videos, and it's quite accurate too. And it can also do it both in the front and back cameras. There is also object tracking, where you can select an object to be tracked on the screen by simply highlighting it, and it will start following it. However, there are limitations to the hardware and software, so you can't expect it to follow very quickly moving objects. Finally, we've got settings from where you can play around with the motor speeds, joystick controls, etc., all the boring stuff. You've got filters on the screen and a hand icon which you activate. You can take pictures or take videos by doing a high five or a V gesture, which I won't be going into detail in the video. Here I think would be a good time to talk about the new AI vision sensor. To activate it, you simply have to press the button on the top once and the LEDs will flash a couple of times, and a red LED next to the camera will turn on. Now to get it to start tracking, simply do this in front of the camera, the OK emoji gesture basically, and you can also do it from a little distance. It will still register it. Immediately the LED which was red will turn green and the gimbal will center your face and then start following you. It is quick, it is smooth, and most importantly, it is precise. Unless you are like the Flash, it will stay locked on you. And by the way, it is not just following your face, it is following a person's outline. So even if you turn your back to it, it will still stay locked on you and keep following you. Now this is amazing. To stop it, simply gesture towards the camera with an open hand and the LED will turn red and the gimbal will stop following you. And that's not it. You can also change the phone's orientation by gesturing 2 thumbs sideways. It will go into portrait mode. To bring it back to landscape mode, do a double thumbs up. It has super quick recognition and will almost never let you down. Now I think about this feature and imagine how much potential it has. Earlier, gimbals had to come up with a way to be able to stream live to YouTube or other social media apps from within their app. and they weren't very successful. And those who even managed to do it couldn't do it very well. With this feature, you can basically have any app open on your phone, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram Live, and have the gimbal track you independently with great precision. I think this is genuinely a game changer, and Hohem should definitely consider installing it in their bigger and more powerful gimbals as well. Coming to shooting modes, we've got the standard, photo, video, time lapse, slow motion if your phone has it, and finally the moment mode. This is where it gets interesting. It has a bunch of preset effects which you can use to get some amazing shots. It has inception to start with, 170 or 180 and 270 degrees. Just press start and preferably move forwards or backwards, and it really helps if there is a subject. You can get some really awesome shots with this effect. Second is fantastic rotation, where the phone randomly rocks side to side in sync with the background audio, of course, which you can also toggle on and off. Third is panoramic video, which, just like its name, is a 10 to 15 seconds video where the phone pans to its full capacity from one end to the other. Fourth is usually one of my favorites, the motion time lapse. Here the phone will record a time-lapse video while slowly panning across 90, 120 or 180 degrees depending on which you choose. It will record for 5, 15 or 30 minutes and produce a video of 15 seconds every time. So the longer you record, the more good looking the result will be. This is a 5-minute time-lapse over 120 degrees. The only limitation here is that you can only pan horizontally and you can't really define more than 2 points in any other orientation like you can with the iSteady mobile, the bigger gimbal. Fifth is a dolly zoom, also known as Vertigo, a great effect where the background seems to be expanding or shrinking while the subject remains same in size. When you press start, you have to select an initial zoom level by adjusting the slider between 1 and 4 and press the add button to get your initial point. Then slide the zoom bar to a different position and then press add again. Now select your time between 5, 10 or 15 seconds. The smaller, the more prominent the effect is. Press start, and remember, if you have selected to zoom in from 1 to 4 on the bar, you have to move away from the object. Your only goal is to make sure the size of the subject stays the same, and this is how it should look. In this clip, you can see the video is quite shaky, and that's because I had to move very fast to achieve the effect, which I did eventually, but at the cost of the video stability. So I would suggest to keep it slow rather. Finally, we've got 2 more templates called Dynamic and Lucky. Basically, they're a compilation of 4 short clips where the gimbal will move or pan in a different direction every time to make a sort of a quick cut type of video. Now that's pretty much all the gimbal can do. There's also a playback button on the camera screen where you can check out all your recorded media. One main question which arises is, how does it work with Android phones, since all I have shown so far has been on an iPhone 10? Well, the Android app hasn't been updated to the version which is available on iOS devices, so some features from within the app are missing. For example, object tracking. None of the main ones though. Hopefully we'll see an upgrade very soon in the next update. That being said, the differences are in the app, but the performance is pretty much the same as with an iPhone. Not to forget the battery, it has a 2000 mAh lithium ion battery, takes about 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100 and can give about 7 to 8 hours of playtime, which is very decent, and you can also use it to charge your phone from the gimbal. That's pretty much it for now, guys. It is an awesome gadget, no doubt. Very pretty and neat looking, minimal look paired with a simple user interface. It is foldable, portable, great battery life, loads of video templates to play around with, and cherry on the top, the AI vision sensor, aka the tracking camera with gesture controls. Hohem is pretty much the first to do it, and they have done a great job. I think it will have a great appeal among aspiring vloggers solely because of this feature. I'll leave a link in the description box below in case you want to check it out. That's it for now, guys. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like button below and share the video with your friends and family. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe to MiiBooth for more gadget reviews, DIYs and life hacks. You can also follow me on Instagram and other social media. All the links are in the description box below. Click on the thumbnails to watch my other videos or check out my YouTube channel for more. And as always, thanks for watching.